Wow, take a look. The lightning we saw across our area last night probably woke you up, or the thunder did. We shot this video right outside of our KREM 2 studio, and many of you actually sent in photos of what you saw from your homes. Wow, really incredible that they were able to capture these images there. Well, if you took any pictures or videos, you can send it to us at 509-448-2000. Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Well, speaking of the weather from last night, let's get right over to today's forecast with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Because Thomas, you warned us about those thunderstorms from last night.
Yeah, they started to roll through in the evening hours, and I think today is going to be the same situation. Plenty of energy that builds during the day, but there's basically a lid, or what we call a cap, on that energy during the daytime hours. At night, that cap erodes and it gives way to those thunderstorms, and that's why we saw that last night. That was the radar from last night. And that's a great example of what will likely once again happen tonight. So get ready for another round of some isolated thunderstorms. As for temperatures, right around 50 degrees as we were yesterday, but it's going to be a lot hotter this afternoon as we go right back into the 80s and right back into record highs for this Tuesday.
An urgent alert for you this morning. Spokane County deputies and rescue workers are searching for a missing hiker near Liberty Lake. Scott Flowers was last seen leaving his home to go on a hike at Liberty Lake Regional Park. He was last seen wearing jeans, a sweatshirt, a Mariners baseball hat, and a red backpack. Anyone with information or who might have seen Flowers hiking yesterday is urged to call Crime Check. That number there on the right side of your screen.
Also new this morning, Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson announcing an exploratory campaign for Washington governor. The announcement is not the same as officially running for governor. However, it does allow candidates to raise money and hire staff. Well, this morning, Spokane police are still looking for someone who shot at two drivers on the South Hill. This all happened on 29th and Ivory Street yesterday afternoon. Now, according to Spokane PD, two different people called 911 to report that they had been shot at while driving within just a minute of each other. One person had to be taken to the hospital. Now, they are expected to survive. Anyone with information is urged to call Crime Check. Their number is right there at the bottom of your screen. Today, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward is hosting a town hall.
Yeah, so the meeting will discuss the city's finances and priorities for the 2024 budget. It is open to the public. The mayor is encouraging anyone to drop in at any time to contribute to the conversation. It will be at the South Hill Library from 5 to 7 this evening.
Also today, the City Council Equity Subcommittee will discuss making an amendment to city code regarding park hours. Right now, the violation for being in a city park after hours is a civil infraction, but Spokane police want to make it a misdemeanor. The police department says they've seen an increase in crime in parks when they're closed. So changing the violation to a misdemeanor would allow police to arrest people for refusing to leave the park after hours.
Happening today, Governor Jay Inslee says he will be calling lawmakers back for a special session. That announcement could be coming in just a few hours. And this all comes after lawmakers failed to pass legislation criminalizing drug possession. The current law makes drug possession a misdemeanor, but that is set to expire on July 1st. And back here at home, the Spokane City Council discussed the emergency ordinance about criminalizing drug possession. A letter was sent to council last week urging them to adopt a safe open spaces ordinance. It is to address what they say is an increase in illegal drug use in the community. The ordinance will be put to a vote at next week's meeting.
Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced that he will not run for re-election next year. Our Nicole Hernandez is in the newsroom with more on what we heard from the governor on this decision.
So Governor Inslee says he's proud of his time as governor and the issues he fought for in his last 10 years as governor. He says even though he isn't looking to be governor again, he won't be retiring altogether.
I feel very energized every day when I go to work. I feel just as much energy today as I did in the first day. But I do think there's a season, to everything there's a season. And the season right now, I think, is having a first term maybe more important than having a fourth term.
In the last decade, Governor Inslee has passed environmental legislation, family leave benefit programs, COVID-19 policies that he says saved lives, and most recently, the ban on assault rifle sales. Governor Inslee did not say exactly what his plans are next, but before then, the governor still has a year and a half in office. He says he's going to take the time to get as much done as he can. Our sister station in Seattle talked to a political analyst and former governor, Gary Locke. Locke says since Inslee isn't looking to be reelected, he could be more outspoken for the next year and a half. One thing we know on the agenda, passing a drug possession law. Inslee said he should be announcing today plans to bring lawmakers in for a special session this month. Governor Inslee has not said who he will endorse in the 2024 election quite yet. Political experts have been talking about potentially Attorney General Bob Ferguson or Public Lands Commissioner Hillary Franz running next. And on the Republican side of the race, they say running against an open seat will be easier than the past few elections against the incumbent Governor Inslee. In the newsroom, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Now, we have also learned that Washington State Insurance Commissioner Mike Kreitler will not seek re-election. It comes after calls for him to resign last year after mistreatment allegations arose. Kreitler was first elected in 2000 and served 6 terms.
It is 7:07 now. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. New in the last 24 hours, the state of Washington is getting tougher on hazing incidents. Yesterday, Governor Inslee signed a bill that would make hazing a felony in cases where someone is killed or seriously hurt. The new law is named after Sam Martinez. He was the WSU freshman who died in the fall of 2019 in a hazing-related incident.
It is time that Mr. DeJoy step up and recognize the Postal Service for the essential workforce that we are, and he pays us what we deserve.
Some postal workers are demanding change. The American Postal Workers Union held a protest outside of the Riverside Station post office yesterday. The protest centered around delays in mail delivery and lack of staffing in the Postal Service. Well, the classic rock surfer band, the Beach Boys, will be coming to the Lilac City. They will be performing at Northern Quest on August 28th. The group formed, of course, back in the 1960s, and the band was most known for its hits like Surfing USA, Good Vibrations, and God Only Knows. Tickets go on sale this Friday starting at 10 a.m. on the Northern Quest website. That is a look at your morning rush.
And the weather on this Tuesday is going to be sunny and hot by this afternoon. The sunny skies here already. The heat will take a little bit. Once that sun gets higher in the sky, we are going to notice a big difference right away. But our temperatures are still a fair bit cool this morning. Still at 48 degrees. Haven't seen that number budge in the last hour and a half since sunrise in Spokane, but it's only in due time out there for today. Plenty of warmth to be had for today, but still a bit of a disturbance that is just lingering to our south. It's the same disturbance that gave us that thunderstorm from yesterday night, and I think the same is likely tonight as well. So dry during the daytime hours, back into the 80s, but after 7 o'clock is when we're going to be watching for our next chance of thunderstorms for the inland Northwest.